Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. There's like a weird filter on my TikTok. Let's see if we can fix that. Hmm. For some reason, I look so much brighter on TikTok. I don't know why. Let's see. I don't know why. Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Oh, well. I'm just going to be brighter on TikTok for some reason. Welcome, welcome, everybody. If this is your first time here in the channel, we got a lot of people. Let's see. A lot of questions roaring in. Guys, if this is your first time here, so my name is Dr. Jones. I have clinics that service across the nation, all 50 states. And, you know, there's a lot of cool things that we do when it comes to GLP-1 medications, helping patients like you optimize long-term goals, long-term results. I come across many different trends and themes in the community for GLP-1 users that lead to issues. You guys know some of them, right? Like you're not eating enough protein, you're not getting enough calories. But I think what's really missed and not discussed enough is is proper resistance training, adequate protein, and the whole metabolic health piece, right? Do I have to go keto? Can I continue to eat carbohydrates? What does long-term weight management look like? When I lose 100 pounds, how can I actually maintain that weight loss for the rest of my life? These are the big questions that I want to get into today. Of course, I'll answer those questions and I'll go ahead and answer any other questions you guys have. Do me a big favor, drop in the comments your name, where are you watching from, and what does your current journey look like right now? Like, what kind of results are you getting? That whole 9 yard. Drop it in the comments. And then do me a big favor, smash that like button and share this live out. And real quick, if you guys are curious about what it's like to work with me, my clinic, my providers, if you want some specific coaching or guidance, two ways to reach out to us. If you're watching me on TikTok, go to the bio link or shoot us a direct message on TikTok. And if you're watching me on YouTube, there's a link in the bio. There's a link in this video as well. You can reach out to us that way too as well. China and munching on dumplings all day. What part of China are you eating dumplings in, Ying? We got Boo Bear from Columbus, Ohio. Fantastic. I want some dumplings. Are these keto dumplings or no? They're probably not keto dumplings. We got Scott from Oklahoma, Retatrutide, 3 milligrams, down 33 pounds. I like that. I like that. That's a good start. Let's see. It makes me breathless. What's making you breathless? Hey, Francisco. Good afternoon from New York City. We got Virginia, been on Monjaro 12 weeks, lost 27 pounds. No food noise. That's fantastic. Remember, you don't want to annihilate your food noise entirely. You don't want to do that. You don't want to hop on the medication and dose yourself to oblivion to where you are struggling with food chatter. You don't want to do that, or struggling with no hunger at all. The optimal dosing is a sweet spot where you still have some hunger, you still have some cravings, but you're not off the walls dealing with consistent food chatter every single day. Because that's the problem that got you, into this situation to begin with. So you want to handle that, but you don't want to suppress your appetite too much. Can you tell me the difference between B12 shots and the MIC B12? So it's just methylated B12 versus regular B12. The model of functional medicine has changed, unfortunately. Tag, let me know what you're referring to specifically when you're talking about functional medicine model having changed. I'm actually curious what you mean. I don't know what you mean by that. JLM, I've been on 2 milligrams. I stopped losing weight. I am week 6. Should I increase my dose? 2 milligrams of Retta, 2 milligrams of tirzepatide. Which peptide are you referring to specifically? Gotcha. On retatrutide. I mean, in the trials, patients were using very high doses of retatrutide in order to get consistent results, in order to get good weight loss. So 2 milligrams is still a pretty low dose. I don't notice the drug anymore like in the beginning. So you're going to adapt to the medication, guys. You are going to adapt to the medication over time. This is very well established in the trials. This is why in the trials, people's doses were escalated over time. Now, I personally can tell you, because I coach thousands of patients on GLP-1 meds, the people that don't increase their doses are the ones that are working on metabolic health. There seems to be a connection between metabolic health, specifically insulin resistance and inflammation, and dosing. The patients who are more metabolically broken, right out the gates, they need higher doses just to have a clinically relevant dose to feel the appetite suppression. And the ones that have to escalate higher because they adapt to it seems to be the ones that don't do the intermittent fasting, the keto, the resistance training. This is what I observe across the board, and it's very consistent too as well. Your A1C is the lowest it's been forever. That's freaking awesome. Can you explain when I feel breathless on GLP-1 medications? Are you on retatrutide? That sounds like a more possible retatrutide heart rate related issue. I haven't heard of people just getting breathless on a GLP-1 medication, so I haven't seen that. Hey, what's up, Grucho Barks? How you doing, my man? Yvette, you're on Monjaro. How's that going for you? So well. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Breathlessness would make sense on retatrutide. Remember, retatrutide acts on a completely different pathway, the glucagon receptor. This is the same pathway that's activated when you're in a calorie deficit, when you're fasting. You're going to have increased mobilization, but you're going to have this upper effect. And so breathlessness, I could see that happening, especially if you're on higher doses. Why do your videos seem to hint that you're not a supporter of retatrutide? It's not that I'm not a supporter of retatrutide. I'm a supporter of what's overall most effective for my audience, for our patients, for my viewers of my content. And I think retatrutide is freaking amazing. And if it works for you, and if you're getting good appetite suppression, you're not having any heart issues, it's fantastic. But it is we can't deny the obvious. It's not FDA approved yet. We don't have enough understanding of it yet. And I can tell you that some patients don't get the kind of appetite suppression that they need in order to lose weight. So it doesn't matter how powerful retatrutide is if you're still overeating, you're still overeating. Should I change because I do not want my workout to depreciate? I can't give you medical advice, but if you are running into an issue on one of the peptides, that's a smart call. I would work with your provider, or maybe you can work with us. Some of you guys are asking questions about pricing, what it's like to work with me or my medical team. Again, there's a very easy way to find that out. If you're watching me on TikTok, shoot us a DM or click the link in the bio. You click that little button right there, go to my homepage. Or if you're watching me on YouTube, there's a link in the homepage as well. You have to force yourself to eat. You should force yourself to eat if you're not eating enough, but why don't we fix the problem? You shouldn't have to force yourself to eat long term, because you shouldn't be on a dose that is suppressing your appetite so much that you have to force yourself to eat. That's a problem. If your appetite is so suppressed that you literally have to force yourself to eat, that's going to bite you in the over an extended period of time. We have to rely on ourselves for ideal and optimal appetite suppression. We need to put in a little bit of work. We cannot rely entirely on the medication. You're going to start a GLP-1 medication. That's fantastic. Congratulations. I'm excited for you. Starting micronized creatine monohydrate. I think everybody should be on creatine 5 grams a day. It's an amazing supplement. Do you recommend taking the shot midweek or Friday for symptoms? Our patients usually don't deal with side effects nearly as often as the general public because we're keeping them on lower doses. Medical advice does not encompass advice about lifestyle and lifestyle choices. This is what we do. This is what my team does, is we coach people with lifestyle choices. So anyways, going back to time of the week, it's really just preference for you. If you do have side effects that are harder to deal with during work, well, then time your injection accordingly. If you rather have side effects on the weekends, if you are getting them, then inject a couple days before the weekend. Just kind of depends on you as an individual, depending on your job, right? Do I recommend berberine? Berberine is a great natural blood sugar lowering supplement. Kind of works similar to metformin, but it's not as effective as metformin. But it does, if you take berberine up to 3 times a day, it can noticeably drop your blood sugar, which, if you have high blood sugar, you need to get that down as fast as you can if you want to start losing body fat. Somebody with all those, oh man, if you have all those medical issues going on, Aaron, then you need to get on a call with my medical team so that we can do a deeper dive and see what's going on. Do I recommend MOTS-C or NAD for ATP production? I mean, MOTS-C and NAD both can help. NAD supplementing low levels of NAD, and MOTS-C is an exercise mimetic. MOTS-C, I don't notice so much improved energy on MOTS-C. and I don't see that clinically with patients. I'm assuming you're trying to handle energy issues. If you have energy issues, thyroid management, testosterone management, inflammation control tend to be a bigger deal, tend to hold a larger impact. That's where I would start if you're struggling with energy. Have you seen many people on GLP-1s having eye issues? No, I haven't. I mean, there was the whole thing about blindness with Ozempic. In specific populations, subsets that have a history of diabetic retinopathy, then maybe starting a GLP-1 wasn't ideal for you. That's certainly a conversation you need to have with your prescriber. Could GLP-1s cause high homocysteine levels due to slower digestion? Haven't seen it. I haven't seen that, and there's no, even the mechanisms don't make sense to me. So I wouldn't expect that to be an existing relationship at all. Guys, if you're not following me on YouTube yet, I would definitely get to my YouTube page, type in Dr. Jones DC. You will find my page on YouTube. We put out 4 videos every single week, guys. 4 videos every single week where I do deep dives into various peptides, GLP-1s, and lifestyle strategies. So I would go check it out. I've tried everything out there and no luck. Do you think GLP-1s will help more than others? Absolutely. I think GLP-1 medications are the most potent metabolic medication we've ever had, the most potent weight loss aid that ever existed. And they're only getting better. With retatrutide and the glucagon piece of it, these medications are getting better and better and better. How long before you usually see side effects on the GLP-1? Some people notice them immediately. Some people, it can start later, weeks or months, and some people never get side effects. And I can tell you, if you want to minimize side effects, use the lowest effective dose, the low dosing strategy, if you want to avoid side effects as much as possible. GLP-1 use before pregnancy, I think it's a great idea. Finish it, get off before you want to get pregnant. So I think TRT, by the way, guys and ladies, I'm actually just posted a video about muscle building in women, and I'm working on a video for men, for my men that want to get jacked and grow big muscles. If you're into that sort of thing, testosterone is huge. If you need testosterone in your body, it's going to help your weight loss journey. It's going to help you respond to the workouts better, protect your muscle mass, build muscle mass. I'm a big fan of TRT when done correctly. Morgan, I've been on 65 units for 5 weeks. I have little suppression. So 65 units could mean anything to me, Morgan. That doesn't tell me the dose of the medication. So I don't know what dose you're on, but I can guess what dose you're on based off of how many times you have increased your dose. What was your first dose? How many units? And then I can guess what dose you're on now. But either way, if you're not filling the medication and you're having to increase and increase and increase, that's usually a reflection of your overall health. Do you have an autoimmune disease? Do you have inflammatory conditions? Are you stressed out, like high levels of stress? Like, tell me what's going on. You're welcome. Thank you for everything on been following you on YouTube. Guys, that's where you will learn the most, is following me on my YouTube page. Hey, Chesty Puller. I haven't seen you in a while, my friend. Hope you're doing good. I started Zepbound 35 days ago, lost 20 pounds. That's fantastic, Kaylin. I'm happy to hear that. I lost some of your question, disappeared from me. Does it actually burn fat? Yes. You burn fat when you're in a calorie deficit. Anything that helps you get into and maintain a calorie deficit is helping you burn fat. If you have slow motility, are GLP-1s safe? So the answer is yes, but I would say it is one of those things where you should be aware that GLP-1s can cause even slower motility. And so a lot of those studies that looked at motility and peristalsis, like issues, actual stomach paralysis, these were mostly diabetic patients with existing motility issues. As you know, long uncontrolled diabetes can create these issues already, and then you exacerbate it with GLP-1s. So another reason why I advocate for low dosing, low dosing, low dosing. Somebody mentioned to me the other day, Dr. Jones, is there something, there's nothing inherently special about being on a low dose. Like they were trying to shun the idea of being on a low dose. And I'm like, there absolutely is something special about being on a low dose. What do you mean? That's a stupid statement. There's absolutely something special about being on a low dose. A low dose relative to your prior dosing, not relative to everybody else. So that's the thing that we need to understand. If you can work towards a lower dose, that is an indicator that you're improving your health, that you're improving your metabolic health. That's the big thing. So let's see. Some people, let's see. Man, some people like just come in and have some fun. Do I think Retta is safe? Well, I mean, it's it's probably safe. And I say that because it's not FDA approved yet, hasn't passed phase 3 clinical trials. I think it can exacerbate existing heart issues. Now, specifically, not like cardiovascular disease, it's actually beneficial for cardiovascular disease. But if you have existing like heart arrhythmias or any sort of issue in that category, an elevated heart rate, I would definitely probably stay away from retatrutide. Some people do have a weird reaction to GLP-1s in their skin. Allodonia or allodonia, I've heard it pronounced both ways. It is a rare skin sensitivity kind of feeling or issue. Usually, a good medication reset will help you with that. A medication reset, by the way, guys, is a powerful program that my medical team and my coaches help patients through, which is taking a specific break from your medications to resensitize. It helps a lot with the dopamine overexposure too as well. If you've dampened the dopamine pathways too much, people sometimes get a little lethargic and extra tired and unmotivated for normal life kind of things. You lower their dose and they get better. Um, um, let's see. You're welcome, Melissa. Thank you. How do you reduce food noise? GLP-1 medications. GLP-1 medication, staying on the lowest effective dose, and implementing lifestyle strategies to also simultaneously improve metabolic health. That's how you do it. Does TERS give the same heart sensitivity? It does impact heart rate, but much less the GLP-1 semaglutide or tirzepatide. Retatrutide has a more potent effect on heart rate. So again, if you have arrhythmias, if you have some potential valve issues, maybe congestive heart failure, this is something that you should be wary of and stay away from entirely because you have these issues. And this is not an FDA approved medication yet. So just it's better to stay safe. Yes, we do ship all 50 states. Some of you guys are asking just about how we work. And so we do ship all 50 states. And if you're anywhere in the country, we can help you with the coaching. If you already have the medications, by the way, great. Maybe you just need the coaching. Maybe you just need the peptides. Some of my favorite peptides to stack with GLP-1 medications: AOD 9604, powerful fat mobilizer; 0304, activator of the AMPK pathway; and then SLOOP 332, mitochondrial biogenesis, essentially upregulates, kind of tricks your muscles into thinking that you're running a marathon. Your slow twitch muscle fibers, you're constantly burning extra calories in the background. So there's a lot of cool peptides that you can do to supercharge your GLP-1 fat loss. I've been microdosing tirzepatide since August and I'm down 21 pounds. No side effects and muscles are popping. That's what I love to hear. That's what I love to hear. That's fantastic. Hey, John, how you doing, my friend? If compounded tirzepatide did not work, is there a chance compounded semaglutide will work? Um, Maybe, but likely not. If tirzepatide didn't work, it doesn't mean tirzepatide didn't work. It means you have a block to tirzepatide not working. That could be cortisol, that could be inflammation, that can be insulin resistance, that can be thyroid. And so we need to get to the root cause of the block and fix that. And then your tirzepatide will start working. What are your thoughts about Zepbound and arrhythmias? So technically, that is also something that could be an issue, but it's a much bigger issue with retatrutide than it is with tirzepatide or semaglutide. Um, which class action lawsuit? I feel like there's all sorts of class action lawsuits. I can't keep track of all of them. Are you talking about the stuff for blindness, or what are you talking about? Reta is not working for me. I've seen a lot of patients switch over to retatrutide, and they are not happy with the appetite suppression. They're not happy with the results they're getting. They were much happier with tirzepatide. So if that's you, then you're not alone. I see this happen often. Are labs and blood work needed? Yes, they are. We work with Quest and LabCorp, so we got you covered. Um, I don't know any Canadian sources. I'm sorry. I just got my blood work and it's all normal. Fantastic. But what does normal mean though? Right? Like there's a difference between normal labs and optimal labs. Those are two different things. Company I'm using is, yeah, I'm not sure what company you're using. Do I know anybody that ships into the UK? I don't. I apologize. The UK, Canada, we only got USA, US of A covered. On average, how much do men lose on retatrutide per month? There is no average. There is no average at all. It depends on your calories, your training, your current health status. I mean, this varies dramatically between nothing and a lot. I'm sorry, it's just a very wide range of possible results. Guys, if you just joined us here this afternoon, welcome, welcome. So, my name is Dr. Jones. I have clinics that service across the nation, all 50 states. Um, I work with my medical practitioners. They prescribe the medications, the peptides, the hormone therapies. We work with men and women. We have um, powerful protocols for optimizing, especially any 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 perimenopausal, menopausal ladies. We definitely want to have this conversation with you because this is so important that you understand how to address that. We'll get back to that. What I do is I have a team of coaches, and we help coach people into optimal metabolic health lifestyle strategies to fix underlying health issues and optimize you for long-term success. Yes, Queen, we work with Florida. We work with all 50 states. If you guys are curious, you want to learn more about the big picture of what we're talking about, it's a very simple process. All you got to do is click the bio, click the link in my bio if you're watching me on YouTube. Or if you're watching me on TikTok, you can either shoot us a direct message or you can click that little button right there and navigate to the homepage and click that over there. Yes, if you are already on peptides, and GLP-1s, for example, and you just need coaching, fantastic. If you have the GLP-1s, but you need the peptides and the coaching, we got you covered. Do you have resources for providers who don't work with your clinics? Um, no, I'm not sure what you're asking. I think I know what you're asking. In the future, I plan on creating provider training programs, but we're not there yet. How long would you take to titrate down from 2.5 milligrams of tirzepatide? Just taking a half dose. Yeah, I think it just depends on you as an individual. So if you are already taking 2.5 per week and you're trying to decrease to a microdose, I would give yourself a month. I like the idea of giving yourself um, a month on a given protocol to assess how your body responds. And then you assess the need for a possible change. What peptides help with sleep? Growth hormone peptides can. Yes, we do prescribe GHK copper, BPC 157. We pretty much have all the anti inflammatory peptides, all the metabolic health peptides, all the GLP 1s. We do hormone therapy. We got it all. I know. I know if you're in, we have a lot of people that watch us on YouTube that are in South Africa. I might visit. I might visit South Africa soon. Me and my fiance were talking about visiting there and seeing what that's like. Is tirzepatide and BPC a good combo for recovery? Yes, yes, it is. We call that the Wolverine healing cycle. I'm lifting heavy 5 to 6 days a week. Will I experience muscle loss on GLP-1s? Um, so the answer is nuanced. The people that lose muscle mass on GLP-1 medications, it's a combination of not doing the right things, not lifting properly, not lifting enough, like often enough, creating enough systematic um, progressive overload in their lifting routine. So again, the lifting, doing the right type of lifting, doing enough lifting, eating enough protein, and then eating enough overall calories. Now, the other variables would be your hormone status. What does your thyroid look like? What does your testosterone look like? If your testosterone is lower, you will be more susceptible to protein turnover and muscle loss. So it's a combination of multiple factors. What are your thoughts on using a GLP-1 to lose the last 20 pounds, not obese? I'm all for it. I'll make the argument all day that I think everybody could benefit from the right amount of GLP-1 medication. So you're not struggling with obesity, you've already lost a lot of body fat. Great, use a microdose, the lowest dose that you need to get you to that optimal state of health. Decreased visceral fat, decreased inflammation. Misa, 260 testosterone. Yeah, oh my gosh. Misa, you probably feel like crap with a testosterone level that low. You probably have a belly with visceral fat too as well. So we got to drop the visceral fat and we got to get your testosterone levels optimized. Um, Click the link in my bio, man. Shoot us a direct message. I work with men like you all the time and I got you covered. Yes, we do work with Quest and LabCorp, and we can get your guys' labs checked anywhere in the States. Estradiol range for men on TRT. There is no range to shoot for when it comes to estradiol. When your testosterone levels raise, your estradiol levels are going to raise. But as long as you don't have chronic systemic inflammation, a lot of visceral fat, you're fine. Let your body control the ratio of testosterone to estrogen. Now, obviously, if you start getting gynecomastia, sensitivity around the nipples, that's a huge problem. You need to lower estrogen right away, but then you need to probably drop body fat. You need to drop some visceral fat ASAP. What are the best BPC 157 pills? Yeah, so the pills for BPC 157 are good for inflammation, gut inflammation, and overall systemic inflammation. So we offer a combined pill that has 500 micrograms of BPC 157 and 500 micrograms of KPV. To me, that is the most potent anti inflammatory combo that you can find. Coach Redmond, Retta worked for about 2 months and now I feel nothing, even at 10 milligrams. Any idea why? Yeah, I mean, I think again, it's a new drug, so there's still a lot to learn. Everybody is speculating at everything when it comes to retatrutide, but I think any medication that you're on for an extended period of time, individual adaptation happens and it takes place. And so increasing your dose is what they would tell you to do. But to me, I think there's underlying inflammation and insulin resistance that's causing your body to adapt much faster. So if you were under my guidance, my coaching, my medical providers, we wouldn't be increasing your dose. We probably would do a complete reset, restore the metabolism, your insulin signaling, probably get you back on tirzepatide if that's what you're referring to as appetite suppression that you need, that you feel like you don't have anymore, shoot us a DM, my man. We would love to help. Hey Tia, I'm up to 3.3 milligrams of TERS. 14th week seems like a good spot for me. That's fantastic. That's a good lower end dose. So I love that you're getting good results with that. Which one is better to stack with tirzepatide, Cagri or a fat blaster? I'm not sure what you mean by a fat blaster, but if you're talking about like an AOD or a Sloop or an 0304, I think it depends on what you're. If you're struggling with appetite suppression, all Cagri is going to do is suppress your appetite more. But if you feel like your diet is in control with the tirzepatide, there's no benefit for adding additional calgrilantide to that. Yes, we do offer hormone therapy for men and women. Can you switch from tirzepatide to retatrutide every few months? Don't know why you would want to do that. You're talking about just, yeah, I wouldn't really see the need or reason to do that. I'd have to, we'd have to dive into what the use case for that would be. Do I feel the injection sites make a difference? They do for some people. Injection site location does seem to make a difference for some people. Yeah, I mean, uh, you could make that argument. Is it worth it? I wouldn't think it'd be worth all that hassle. Um, yes, so we like to individualize our dosing for the medications per the individual. The biggest thing that I can tell you guys before I hop off here is we implement what we call a low dosing strategy. So our goal is to optimize your GLP-1 journey by strategic implementation of various lifestyle strategies that also improve insulin resistance and improve inflammation. If you do that, you'll be able to stay on a much lower dose. Yeah, some people have better responses in certain locations. Vin. All right, guys, I'm gonna hop off. I'll probably be back either Friday or Saturday morning, probably Friday morning. And again, if you're not following me already on YouTube, go to YouTube and type in Dr. Jones DC. Give us a follow. Turn on your bell. We put out 4 comprehensive videos every single week, so you're gonna want to check that out. And then if you're interested in working with me, you want to learn more about that whole thing, you get a free call with my team and they can discuss the whole thing with you. If you're watching me on TikTok, shoot us a DM or was it a D or click the link in the bio. And if you're watching me on YouTube, do the same thing, click the link in the bio. All right, guys, have a great day.